闇の中で光をさ天使フリタンが激獄だライバーの運命を逆転任天堂帝国終わりの宣言
Damn it. You guys did it. You did it again. I asked for 105,000 subs and you did it in the span of 24 hours. And then I went camping and I thought to myself, how can I repay such generosity? And then a fan messaged me and said, play us Mexican Americans. And I said no. And then they threatened me with deportation.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here! Get the hell out of here!
That's the American way. But the real goal is 110,000 subs. At 110,000 subs, I will play you Despacito on camera. How much more paisa does it have to get for you? You know what? Actually, don't answer that question. Instead, hit subscribe, let's reach the goal, and let's get into the news. So Palworld is fighting back in ways that I didn't think they would. After being taken to court and having gameplay mechanics outright stripped from their title because Nintendo and the Pokémon company are envious of their success and popularity, I thought that they wouldn't ever try to pick a fight with them ever again, but no, Pocket Pair is a lot ballsier than we thought. While Nintendo is so focused on trying their absolute hardest to shut down their title and ensure there's never another competitor to Pokemon ever again in the gaming landscape, Pocket Pair has decided to go all out and try to become more than just a video game. Now they want to achieve intellectual property status. As you know, Pokemon is the most successful intellectual property on the planet. And you'd figure with a title like that, their games would match it, but they don't. However, when it comes to their trading card game, when it comes to their TV shows, their merchandise, globally, they are on a scale that no competitor could ever even dream of matching. Pokemon is so successful, its popularity cannot be penetrated, or so we thought. That was until Palworld popped into existence, proving that you can indeed put this juggernaut on its knees begging for mercy and getting the company to get so desperate they outright try to play as dirty as possible. For once in decades, Pokemon showed some vulnerability, which was made all the more transparent in their pettiness with that lawsuit. And that is why I 100% support the idea of Pocket Pair trying to inflict similar damage in other sectors of Pokemon success. Pocket Pair's Bushiroad investment raises talk of Palworld card game. Palworld developer Pocket Pair has acquired a stake in Japanese publisher Bushiroad, joining Animate subsidiary Echoes.
You suck!
In the deal, the move reshapes Bushiroad's shareholder structure while hinting at Pocket Pair's growing ambitions beyond video games.
They're stealing our fanboys!
I mean, with the amount of money they made on Palworld on Steam alone, these guys are definitely making the right investments. Now, as to whether or not a card game from Pocket Pair can even rival Pokemon, I highly doubt it. As we speak, Pokemon has goddamn trading card vending machines in my town that are sold out every day. People in my life invest in Pokemon cards more than they invest in stocks or gold coins. Pokemon trading card game is a money-making machine, making even more money than the actual video games themselves. And that's because when people get into the Pokemon trading card game, there's value behind the cards. They can make money, they can flip them, they can sell them, they can trade. It's a whole different oiled machine than the Pokemon video games, which are a lot easier to compete with, for Pocket Pair anyway. And most of that can be contributed to the fact that many, if not the majority of people that play the Pokemon trading card game probably don't even play the games or buy the merch or watch the shows. So if you're gonna get something like a Palworld trading card game into the market, it's going to be 20 times more difficult than making a video game that can compete with Pokemon. This would more than likely just be a niche thing. I don't see Palworld cards showing up in major retailers, but if that were to ever happen, if it were to ever even get remotely popular, Nintendo and Pokemon Company would strike without hesitation. Well, I mean, they definitely would if Pocket Pair did the hilarious thing, and that is have the back of the card have a Pal sphere with the elements, and then use a very similar card layout for the graphics of these then that would really piss Nintendo off, and I would love to see that. But sadly, a Mexican can only dream, because I highly doubt Palworld would take off to the extremity that Pokemon has over the last few decades. It certainly isn't going to happen overnight. But if it were to become even slightly successful, we would see another lawsuit from the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. On August 14th, Bushiroad announced that its CEO and president, Takaki Kidani, would sell part of his shares. Pocket Pair and Akos, whatever, will receive roughly 4 million of Kidani's 7 million directly owned shares. Starting August 15, Kidani no longer holds the position of majority shareholder. His total stake falls from 55.9% to 49.9%, dropping his voting power below the controlling threshold.
I'll take your entire stock!
Now, this is actually quite a big deal, because if Pocket Pair is a majority shareholder, there's going to be a lot more influence and a lot more decision making coming from them. As it is, Palworld would be the most popular IP that they could bring to Bushiroad's trading card business. It would definitely elevate the company and put them more on the map, because as it is, this is literally the second most popular monster taming / trading game, right next to Pokemon, and it's only like a year old. They gotta strike while the iron is hot. If they really are committed to making Palworld an even bigger IP, there is no way in hell Pokemon is gonna be okay with that. Imagine if they get a TV spot. Now, I don't think kids' cartoons are gonna want Pokemon with literal guns, but Pocket Pair has already experimented with short animations on their YouTube channel using the game engine, and a lot of the pals that they have are very appealing. Unlike, Pokemon, who at this point is using an actual lawnmower or trash or ice cream as the latest designs to their Pokemons. The cuteness behind Pocket Pair's characters could go a long way in terms of animation, but it will require the right animation studio, the right setting, the right story, the right everything. Because if they want to sell cards, they need to push this IP to the moon. Now, I for one have zero interest in watching it or participating, but what I do want to witness is how this plays out against Nintendo in the midst of this lawsuit. Bushiroad has built its reputation on trading card games like Card Fight, Vanguard, merchandise production, and anime tie-ins. While the company has not disclosed how influential Pocket Pair's stake is, the move clearly aligns with the developer's recent ventures. Last year, Pocket Pair launched Palworld Entertainment with Sony Music Entertainment and Aniplex. The joint venture focuses on licensing and merchandising the Palworld IP, signaling Pocket Pair's intent to strengthen its multimedia reach.
You stole my idea! No, we tweaked your idea. We took what was a good idea and we made it a great idea.
I mean, I just love it though. I mean, I don't know whether they'll succeed or not, but the fact that Nintendo tried to sue these guys and bully them into quitting, and instead they're quadrupling down on their IP, that right there, I like that. It shows that no, Nintendo and Pokemon Company are not big enough to bully their competition away. Rather than telling themselves, okay, we'll never do that again, we'll make sure to never step on Nintendo's toes, they say, fuck it, let's get our own animation, let's get our own trading cards, let's piss them off even more than we already have. The icing on the cake would be if one day you're able to walk into any major retail and you see Palworld cards right next to the Pokemon ones. Even if they don't outsell the Pokemon cards, Nintendo would absolutely hate that. Because as a majority stakeholder in the franchise and its related products, including the TCG, they're gonna want to protect their investment. It's fair to say no other game developer has quite ruffled Nintendo's feathers like Pocket Pair has. And it seems they plan on continuing to intentionally piss them off and provoke the company. Whether that works out in their favor in the long run, I have no clue. I am just here laughing my ass off because such success for a game would not even exist in the first place if it weren't for Pokemon Company and Nintendo's own incompetence and lack of caring. For Christ's sake, they outright stole fan art and used it for their virtual trading card game. When you do something like that, I actually want someone to dethrone you. I want someone to succeed and put you in your place. I don't know if Pocket Pair can do it, but the fact that they're fighting back and they're choosing to be even more aggressive, We need that out of more publishers and developers. What was funny was reading a few articles from journalists who were defending Nintendo and crossing their fingers that they could take down Palworld. Instead, they're here having to report Palworld is still very much alive and looking to expand. The fact that these guys want to defend a company that served them slop like Pokemon Sword and Shield, or outright steals fan art for their own cards to redistribute, it's a case study in of itself. I don't understand what is wrong with these people. I mean, just take a look at this article from a salty ass journalist. It's hilarious. Palworld gets taste of own medicine as copycat game pops up on Nintendo Switch. Or check this one out. Forget Palworld. Pokemon will always be the definitive monster taming game. Let's just listen to these journalists. Listen to how enamored and attached they are to a company that doesn't even respect them enough to make original new art for them. And yet they will get mad at Palworld for having similar designs, or they'll outright cheer on clones of Palworld. I mean, just taking a look at that new Pokemon Legends footage from yesterday and hearing the game announcer in the back, you can kind of get a good measurement for the levels of maturity from these journalists. They're man-children. They never grew up. Pokemon is what they knew and will always know, and they don't want to know anything else. It's interesting to see where this patent is going to lead and what it would mean for Palworld if Nintendo does win. But the very fact that they're not letting that stop them, that deserves major respect. Whether these Nintendo shills and Pokemon fanatics want to agree with me or not, it is for the betterment of the franchise. If the next iteration of Pokemon resembles anything we see in Palworld, we will know that is not a coincidence. Likewise, if their card game also gets sued, that will not be a coincidence. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.
Fritongo sucks ass.